If you recently purchased a designer item online, or if you went to a flea market or a yard sale and purchased a designer item and you're not sure if it's authentic or not, or maybe you are an online reseller and when you're out thrifting at the thrift stores or online thrifting, you're not entirely sure if the item is authentic or not. So here in this video, I am going to go over 3 surefire ways that you can identify a real designer item versus a fake. Keep watching. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Bree. I am a full-time online reseller and I sell on Poshmark and Mercari. This video, we're going to go over 4 designers and how to identify an authentic luxury item versus a fake one. And what I mean by item is accessories and leather goods like wallets, wristlets, clutches, handbags, duffels, belts, all these things where you're going to be a pro by the end of this video. Okay, so the designers that I'm going to discuss today are Coach, Michael Kors, Kate Spade, and Dooney Bourke. We are going to start with Dooney and Bourke. Now, I have a few items here that are authentic, and I have one that is a fake. It's very rare for me personally to come across a fake Dooney and Bourke. It's just probably the area I live in. I'm not sure, or maybe all of the fakes have been destroyed through the years, or just since they're fake, they are very low quality, so they don't last long, and people tend to throw them out because they fall apart. Now, what I'm going to show you is the fake first, and then the real. Any things that I show you that don't come up that well on the screen, I'm going to put a photo here of a close-up, just in case my camera is unable to really focus well. So the first thing is the fake. It is a planner, and it looks like this. And it has the duck embossed leather on here. So it is a little tricky. At first sight, you'd think, oh, that's authentic. Hold on, you're gonna learn real quick why it is not. So I'm gonna bring it up as close as possible. And as you can see, I'm gonna also put a picture up here. This embossing is glued on. The way you can tell is there's no stitching around it. It is not leather. I'm not sure what it is, to be honest, but that's step number 1. You always wanna check the leather and the stitching. I know when I first started doing reselling and just identifying authentic versus fake, I was very confused with that because sometimes the fake's stitching is really good. So it's really hard to tell if it's fake or not. So this is a sure, definite fake because I'm going to show you the real one. Here is a real Dooney and Bourke with a little duck embossing. It's also smaller, if you can tell in size. Let me see if I can get this in frame. I'm gonna put up photos because it might just be easier that way. So the real Dooney, I'm gonna put a picture here. You can see that there is stitching around the leather and the duck emboss is literally stitched on, it's not glued. Also, the stitching around this part is very intricate. Whereas on the fake, you can see it's not terrible, but Dooney and Bourke, any designer is not gonna lack on the quality of their stitching. They're very meticulous. So this one right here at the top, I'm gonna also put a photo of this. It's like they stopped stitching and then started again. Dooney would never do that. If they're gonna stop and start, they're not even gonna let you see where they did that because they pay attention. They put that extra effort into manufacturing their leather goods, and that's why they cost more than a fake. Also, price is another thing you want to check out too. If it seems too good to be true, it is. So, okay, now on the fake, this planner, you can tell the leather, it's probably hard to tell on camera, but it is shiny and very, very plasticky feeling. It should not feel plasticky at all. It should feel like leather. If you're unfamiliar with how leather feels, it's typically soft, buttery, smooth. Sometimes it's pebbled. Like this is considered pebbled, this texture. So it kind of threw me off when I first found this. And I was like, oh, is this real? I'm like, oh, nope. As soon as I looked at it, I knew. But it does kind of feel like leather. I'm not going to lie about that. But anyway, if you compare the texture, this is also pebbled. I'm going to hold it up. Actually, I'm just going to put pictures up. Yeah. How you can tell the difference is the texture of the pebbled leather as well. The second thing that you can tell with Dooney Bourke, if it's a small leather good, like a wallet, they always do like a heat stamp or an embossing of their logo on the inside. So since this is a planner, a real one would have had some type of Dooney Bourke embossing or logo or something here. It would say Dooney Bourke, like long. It doesn't, so that's how you know. Now on the real one, you can see right here, it will be embossed and it says Dooney Bourke USA. So that's another surefire sign that you have an authentic item. But with all designer items, you want to check the hardware, the stitching, and the embossing, like the heat stamp, or just check the actual leather, because if it feels plasticky, 9 times out of 10, it's not real leather. Now, there is patent leather, which has like some type of a plastic feel to it. So those are a little bit more difficult to determine. But if you're buying something that was pre-owned, it will show significant signs of wear pretty quickly in something that's patent leather, because it will flake and it will chip. Real patent leather will not flake or chip unless it's been dragged through the mud and back, which is still really rare for it to flake and chip. One more thing that I wanted to mention about Dooney Bourke is here I have a vintage duck embossed coin wristlet. I wanted to show you and explain the hardware for vintage Dooney Bourke and what to look for if you're out and you happen to find something that is vintage. Now, this is, I believe, from the 80s and possibly the early 90s, like very early 90s. Pretty sure it's just like late 80s, early 90s. They use all brass hardware. And if you have something that has a buckle, like say you have a crossbody with a leather strap, the buckle on the back of that buckle, it's going to be engraved and it's going to say solid brass. If you look inside of a handbag and you see it's not a screw, but it's kind of like the flat head of like a nail. It's not a nail, but it looks like that. It's like a little back of a metal button in a way. It's what holds the bag together. The back of those little hardware pieces inside the bag are all gonna say, they're gonna be engraved and they're gonna say Dooney Bourke on those as well. I'll put pictures up here for examples. Now on this particular one, I wanted to point out that the zipper pull it says Riri, R-I-R-I. I'm gonna try to zoom in if I can, if it will focus. This will say Riri on the actual zipper pull, and it will also say it on the back of the zipper. Now this is a very tiny leather good, so it's very difficult to show on camera, but I do have this listed in my Poshmark closet for sale right now, so I'll just put up the picture of the back of the zipper pull, which says Riri. You want to look for that. So don't be discouraged if you see hardware like a zipper pull that says Riri. It doesn't say YKK, or I don't think they use Ideal. I think they just would use YKK and Riri. One more Dooney Bourke. This is a Dooney Bourke handbag, authentic, and just wanted to show you real quick how you can determine if it's authentic or not on a handbag. Is the same 3 rules apply. You want to check the hardware, check the stitching, and the leather, like the stitching, that's very meticulous. You also want to check the designer's tag on the inside. There should always be a tag on the inside of a Dooney Bourke. And I'm going to do a close-up of this one so you can see, but I'm also going to hold it up on camera. One side is going to be Dooney Bourke, and the other side is going to be the serial number. Let me see if this will focus. Yes. The serial number. Sometimes they also have a sticker on the inside of the back zippered pocket, and it will tell you exactly what the bag's name is and style, all that. This one doesn't have that. It was removed because this is pre-owned. But okay, also another thing to tell is on the inside zippered pocket, there's going to be a leather sewn on patch or stamp that says Dooney Bourke, and the Dooney Bourke itself has a heat stamp emboss as well. So that's another way you can tell if your item is authentic or fake. So that completes all the quick and easy things that you can look for when you're out thrifting, or if you purchased a Dooney Bourke item online or through somebody like a third party and you're not sure if it's authentic. Those are surefire ways to know if it checks out or not. Up next is Kate Spade. I've rarely ever, I don't think I've ever seen a fake Kate Spade, to be honest. I don't know if it's the area I live or what, but I haven't come across a fake one. So this one's going to be quick and easy, but you always want to check the same 3 things that we checked with Dooney Bourke. You want to check the stitching, the hardware, and the leather, as well as the tag. Kate Spade has the emblem here in gold hardware. On her zipper pull, there is a little spade. The zipper itself, right here, is a YKK zipper. Now, when we open up the wallet, you will see inside. This one is also new, so it came with the care booklet. But inside of the wallet, there is the Kate Spade tag, and there's also 2 more little tabs in there. One is the year and month that it was made, as well as the style code. The other one is a hologram stitched tag that is fabric. And the third one is the Kate Spade tag, which on the back of it tells you the materials of what it was made from. This one is 100% cowhide leather. So that's how you can determine whether it is fake or real. It'll tell you right there that it's leather. Fakes don't use leather because they don't care about quality, they want money. So they're gonna use the cheapest materials to make their items and sell it for as much as they can for the higher profit. Up next is Michael Kors. Now what I have here is a little wristlet. It is brand new. I don't have any fake Michael Kors to compare it to. Typically, I don't come across any fakes of Michael Kors. I don't usually find fake Dooneys often, fake Michael Kors, or a fake Kate Spade, but I do see fake Coach. So we'll get into Coach next. Michael Kors. Okay, so the first thing you want to check is the hardware. Michael Kors is always going to have, and I'll put pictures up here, his name on the zipper pull, whether it's written on the side or on the top, like the flat part. It's going to be on there somewhere. It's also going to be on the clasp that connects the wristlet strap to the actual wristlet. And the zipper itself, I will also put up a picture of this, is going to be a YKK zipper. Sometimes an Ideal. I'm not sure if he uses Ideal. I haven't seen one. They're almost always a YKK zipper. So with Michael Kors, you always want to check the hardware, the stitching, and obviously determine whether or not it's leather. It'll feel like real leather versus like a plasticky feeling, which is not real leather. And then the third thing is you want to check for the authenticity tag that's on the inside. So I'm going to show you this one. So we already determined that this is real leather. This is real hardware because it is engraved, I almost said embossed, engraved on the clasp, and it's engraved on the zipper pull, and it's a YKK zipper. Now when you open it up, this one was brand new, so it came with the Michael Kors, why is this not focusing? Michael Kors care booklet. But also there is, and I'm going to put up a picture of this, it's going to be very hard to see, there's always a little tiny tab on the inside of a wallet or the handbags. Pretty sure on the belts, it's where the buckle meets the belt. There's always like a tag, or if it's not a tag, it'll be like embossed into the leather. And what is on this tag is, especially with the newer Michael Kors, there's a QR code on the back of the tag. And on the front of the tag, it will have the style number. This one is AV-1708. It will tell you where it was made, and it should always be Vietnam. Sometimes China, I think. I'm gonna look into that. Definitely Vietnam is a very, very popular location. It'll have another code, probably like their UPC code, and then Michael Kors will be written at the bottom. You always want to check for that, because sometimes the fakes will have like just like a plasticky white tab that says made in China. Probably not real. Although the older Michael Kors, where it gets confusing, but you'll learn as you go. The very old, like early 90s Michael Kors, they only used a white tab. But it would say made in China, and on the bottom it would have the code. So if it just says made in China and there's no code, or there's no little piece of paper behind it with a long number on it, it's probably a fake. But you could also check the hardware as well. If the hardware lines up and it just says made in China and it feels like leather, you're probably good to go. Those are far and few in between. Most Michael Kors have all three things check out. The hardware checks out, the leather checks out, and the little tag checks out. So you're pretty much good to go if all three of them check out. Now we're going to get into Coach. So I have two examples, well, two items here. I have a fake Coach wallet and a real Coach wallet. First, we're going to compare the buckle. The buckle and the fake just doesn't look anything like the width, or I call it like a nice big fat buckle. This is a little skinny buckle. Now, sometimes Coach does have little skinny buckles, but if you're trying to mimic a Soho style square wallet, it doesn't line up. This one almost got me, because on the buckle it does say Coach on the side right here, just like this one does, but it is very poorly written, and it's not even the same font as Coach would have engraved it. You'll see here in the detail, it's just blatantly obvious. Now, to someone who doesn't know, they would think, oh yeah, it's real. It's got the engraving and it looks like leather. It's not. This is very, very cheap plasticky leather. If you could feel it through the screen, you would feel that it's like, just feels like cheap rubbery leather. The canvas, yeah, even the canvas, it could be a little misleading, because they did kind of add the sheen to the way they stitched that, but you could just, if you felt a real one, you would know, oh yeah, this is definitely, it's like hard, it feels pointy on the edges. Coach, it's like butter smooth. Anyway, so I'm gonna go over the fake first. This one, the fake giveaway, the dead giveaway right here is the way they spelled Coach and the way it is poorly engraved into the buckle. That is not even as wide as a regular buckle for their belt, for their wallet belt. So then when we open it up, the next thing you want to check right here, this button always, always, always says Coach on it, on the bottom and on the top. This one doesn't. This one is that typical, I'll put a picture up here. It's the cheap China, cheapest of the cheap hardware that you can get. Third thing, inside of this wallet, all Coach wallets, somewhere inside of a leather wallet would be a heat stamp that says Coach, or if it's not a heat stamp, it would be like some type of like an ink stamp, like a gold metallic-y ink stamp, or silver. Usually it's a heat stamp though, into the leather, so you can like feel it with your finger. This has nothing anywhere. There's no embossing anywhere on here. Oh wait, I'm lying. Here it is. It says Coach, but I know it's fake because, hold on. So wow, this one's actually, they're up in their game. Well, you can tell too, because well, that button's wrong. It feels plasticky, and on the inside there is no tag anywhere on the inside here where you would put your money. Coach always, 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 always has a made in, either a cloth tag or like a plasticky, like, yeah, I think it's plastic or silicone. I'm not sure what they use. It'll say made in Thailand, made in China. China's very common, so don't get freaked out if you see a made in China. Made in Vietnam. Those places are 100% legit. This is a pretty decent knockoff, but I can tell just by the hardware, these all don't say Coach. It feels plastic and cheap. They tried here though with the embossing, but I'll tell you what, Coach wouldn't have put it right here. They would have put it like over here on the bottom, right there. They wouldn't have put it like right under. It doesn't even line up. Like it doesn't line up when you look at how you would open a wallet. So definitely fake. This one's fake. The real one I'm going to show you. So once you open up the real one, it says Coach right here, and I'll put a picture up there. And then when you open it up here, it says Coach right at the bottom. See how it's like lined up? Like when you're looking at it, you just look at the card slots and look right down. This one, you would have to like fold through a couple pages of fake plastic to see that it was embossed. Lastly, up here where you would put your cash, or your receipts, you'll see in here, now this one is a plastic one or a silicone. I'm not sure what the material is. There's a little tag. It says made in Thailand, and you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. Yep, my camera's just not picking up the correct color. But you can see it's on there. Also, on the back of this wallet, you can see it is embossed and says Coach right there. I will put all these photos up here because my camera is just not helping me today. So that is the first example. So now I have a fake Coach long slim wallet and a real Coach Madison mini wallet. Now we'll start with the fake. So this one also almost got me because it is embossed right here and it looks vintage, right? It looks vintage, like it's from like the 90s Coach. And back here, now this zipper is broken, but this is a YKK zipper. So, okay, it looks pretty legit so far. And even the leather's a little misleading. It feels kind of real, and on the inside it feels real, but Coach would never use this hardware. This is another cheapy China hardware. So I'm going to, well, it's a button. Also, on the inside, 100%, Coach would have had a heat stamp right here. There's nothing on this one, nowhere. No heat stamps, no Coach, no nothing. And when there's no tag. There would be a tag somewhere in here saying made in China, made in Thailand, or made in Vietnam. No tag. And this material in here feels like plastic. They use a canvas. This is not authentic. It's very close. It's very misleading. So if you didn't know, you probably would pick it up. The real one has the brass or gold hardware. This is the Madison on the front. And now this one not only says Coach here on the top and the bottom, I'll put a picture up over there, but it also has, like I said, oh, it is embossed. It is a heat stamp. Okay. You can feel it when it's embossed, but this is embossed with like a gold ink. I don't know if my voice was picked up on that. Also, there's a little cloth tag in there, or fabric tag, and it says made in China, and it is stitched. So that's another way you can tell if it is fake or real. Yep. And now this has that same type of feeling on the inside, just like this did. Listen. Has that same feel, but if you were to feel the fabric that's inside here versus the fabric that is inside here, you would know right off the bat, oh yeah, that is 100% fake. It feels like plastic, and this just feels like canvas, like a fabric. Also, this leather, so soft, so buttery. Again, I'm sorry, you can't really feel through a camera, but if you could, you would be like, oh yeah, this is nice. This feels nice. And then you feel this, and it's like, it's a little sticky. Like it's like it feels rubbery. So that's another way that you can tell. The last Coach item that I'm going to show you as an example of an authentic Coach item is a handbag. This is a vintage handbag, so it's always going to come with a hang tag. Now, fakes come with hang tags too, but you can tell by the embossing and the stitching on the hang tag if it's real or if it's fake. This one is 100% real. It has all the stitching, it is embossed, and the embossing on the front of this leather as well is very, very detailed and very deep. You can feel it. When you open this up, on the inside, you always want to check the lining. This is the Tattersall lining, where it's kind of like a multicolor plaid. So cute. So you want to check, say you're in the store shopping or whatever, like a thrift store, or if you're at a yard sale or a flea market and you pick up a bag, you want to go right inside to this, their leather creed patch. Now, fakes have these and they have the serial codes and everything, but 9 times out of 10, the serial code number that they're using, they're just repeating on all different bag styles, shapes, and colors, which Coach would never do. So what you want to look at, and I'm going to put up a picture here, you want to go on your phone while you're out shopping, go on your phone and go into Google and type Coach space this number. You want to put in the number after the dash and then search. And if that bag that's in your hand comes up in the search, it's most likely authentic. It's like 95% authentic, because fake ones will have the Coach Creed on a fake leather patch, and you type in that code and that bag looks nothing like the bag that's in your hand. So that's a really good surefire way to know if you have something real or fake in your hands. Also, just like with all the other bags, you want to check the hardware, you want to check the stitching, and you want to check the tags. So this, again, is a YKK zipper. I know you can't see on camera, but you always want to look at the side of the zipper pull. So it's a YKK. Coach also uses Ideal. It'll say IDEAL on the side instead of a YKK. Those are good to go. And then the stitching, again, they're very meticulous. They pay very close attention to not letting you see where they started and stopped the stitching. It's just like one long continuous line. So they want it to look nice, you know, because that's their name, that's their brand. They want it to look really nice. Now this one I'm looking, they don't, oh, that's another thing. Most Coach bags, you can pull the interior lining completely out. It's sewn in, but like you can pull it out to like really look at it and check it out. Like if you're having a hard time pulling out the patch, pull the whole liner out, because if it's stitched in, 9 times out of 10, it's a fake. Because Coach does stitch in their lining if it's like a real small leather good, but if it's a handbag, it should come out. Most of them come out, not all, but I'd say like 95% of their bags, the lining comes out. So you can clean it or just get like all the crumbs out the bottom if you're using it and it's dirty. So anyway, but this one, usually where the creed is, there would be like a little tag up here. This one doesn't have it. Not all of them do. It depends on the style and what year it was made and everything. So, but yeah, it would also be just like the wallets. It would be like made in China, made in Thailand, or made in Vietnam. So yes, I hope this helps you identify a real Coach versus a fake. And I wish you the best of luck while you're out thrifting, or if you're just shopping for fun, or if you're at a yard sale or a flea market, or you're online and you're hoping that you got an authentic item. If you look over your bag, if all these things check out, you're good to go. And if not, you got a fake, and you should definitely let the seller know. And if you can't return it, use it till it falls apart or trash it, because fakes are illegal, they're counterfeit, and it's copyright infringement. So, all right, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.